very good evening, everyone. We are ready for week 3 of the Mitre Festival of Football tonight, coming to you from Perry Park. 7 days after an epic grand final triple header on this pitch, we've got some postseason fun coming your way on FQTV as the NPL Men's All-Stars take on our state's A-League side in the Brisbane Roar. James Coughlin here in the commentary booth, ready to bring you all the action alongside our resident Scotsman, Al Kroll.
Thank you very much, James. I am very much looking forward to seeing this one.
As we do get the best of the Queensland competition. There they are through their final warm. So you can see Mirko Crociati, one of the Brisbane City players. And that is how Perry Park looks right now, setting sun beneath some clouds. And it looks like the weather might do us a few favours tonight, Alan.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the pitch has been very worked on the last couple of weeks for grand finals, but I think it's held up nicely, and I think they're in for a really good game. Two really top sides, and I really think the Queensland side will give the A-League side a run for their money tonight.
Well, that is really what we are hoping for tonight. Entertainment for the NPL All-Stars. This is a chance to showcase their skills against a professional club. Meanwhile, for the Brisbane Roar, they're looking to continue what has been an impressive preseason under Michael Valkanis coming in to replace Ruben Zadkovic.
Absolutely, yeah. Brisbane Roar, I mean, this has probably been one of their best of recent preseason campaigns with beating Sedge Cross Mariners and the win over Morton City as well. So they're going into this game with a lot of momentum, I think, ready for the A-League season. They've got some good new signings. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Long. He played England and see how he features today. I believe he's starting.
He is, and we'll go through those team lineups momentarily. That is the new match ball for the Isuzu Ute A-League season. And we are ready to see the teams coming out. The Queensland All-Stars in their traditional maroon kappa kits, and the Raw in their pre-season kit that we have seen that thankfully isn't as divisive as last year's pre-season kit. And here they are, the Raw in their orange and white, led out by Captain Jay O'Shea. And the NPL All-Stars led out by Captain Max Brown of the Gold Coast Knights. And our match officials for today's game. Let's start with Tom Fell, the referee, assisted by Ben Orwell, Abdullah Al-Khamisi, and the fourth official, Mackenzie Janes, who was in charge of last Saturday night's NPL Men's Grand Final. And Alan, well, a few of these guys are backing up from a very busy finals campaign and state league season, but you do get that little bit of an extra buzz getting honoured with an all-star selection.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's always interesting with the Queensland side. You've got all these players through the whole league campaign. They've been competitive with each other. They've been battling for the top spot. They've back for the grand finals, and now they're going to come together to really put themselves in the shop window for a profitable professional contract and play together and try and really take on this Raw side.
And we should point out there is A-League experience in this NPL Queensland All-Stars side. Let's run through the starting lineup for the All-Stars, coached by Penn Powers, Aaron Philp, assisted by Raider Al-Rakabi from East. And there is the team list in the bottom left corner of your screen. Alan, we are expecting a 5 at the back with 2 wing-backs in Reese Gray and Shelford Deus. Who have you got your eye on here?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you look at Aaron Philp's Peninsula Power side, they always kind of play that way with the back 5, so it's actually no surprising to see that. But in that back 5, I mean, I'm looking at the strength, and it's not my Scottish bias here at all, but McGowan at the back, he's absolutely superb for Peninsula Power. Him, and I think working alongside Gray, I think that's going to be a terrific combination. And actually, Diaz out wide left, tremendous.
Would you believe I scripted that out as your expected response? Here is the Raw's lineup, headlined by number 22, new signing Houston Salas, who was only officially announced this week, but he does bring a wealth of experience. Not only for Wellington Phoenix, 12 appearances for there, but also at the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
We played for Costa Rica. Good to have international talent from the Brisbane Roar side, so we'll see how they line up there. I think they're going with probably a back 4 there that they've done the last few pre-season games, but they are their favourites tonight, and see how they go.
And a whole lot of new faces for us to familiarise ourselves with as we prepare for kickoff. There is Houston Salas, as we prepare for the 29-year-old to play his first competitive fixture in, well, semi-competitive fixture. Let's call this for what it is. And there is the captain, Jay O'Shea, 156 A-League appearances since joining the Raw in 2019. And it has been a rough few years for the Raw, but O'Shea has been one of the shining lights holding down that midfield, playing a variety of different roles.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like you said, he's 29 years of age now, but he is just dominant in that middle of the park. He's been a shining light for Brisbane Roar, and I expect nothing more than that tonight against this Queensland side. And like you said, I know you're mentioning that it's not so much of a competitive game. It's a pre-season match, but you tell that to these Queensland players when the game kicks off.
It's easy for us to say in the commentary booth, but I know once that whistle goes, plenty of these players will be super eager to leave their mark.
Especially the Max Brown. I mean, he's missed out in the final for Knights. He was away with his wedding, so he'll be really keen to finish off his season in style here.
It was a frustrating season in the NPL for Gold Coast Knights. They did make the Han Australia Cup round of 32 with their line led by number 7 there, Marquez Walters, and there is Tom Fell. He was the 4th official in last week's NPL Men's Grand Final. So we had the mad dash to get ready for kickoff in that one with the extra time in the FQPL 1 women's match and the late winner for Brisbane City. But that was last week. Our focus now is on this week, and it will be Brisbane Roar kicking us off, going from left to right on your screen. Very pleased to have your company on this Saturday night. James Coughlin, Alan Kroll bringing all the action on FQTV, and here we go. And there is one of the many, many, many new signings for the Roar, Alan, Dean Buzanis, who is getting the chance to start in goal tonight.
Yeah, well, prior to the kickoff, I was reaching out to quite a number of Brisbane Roar supporters that's in around me, and they were very excited with Buzanis being in the back. A lot of them have said that they've really struggled with goalkeepers of late, so need that little bit of experience back there. A player that's been around A-League for a while.
Certainly, with plenty of experience with Melbourne City. And he is now back in action on Australian shores after moving from back in England. And there is another one of the new signings, Justin Vidic, coming from Newcastle, 12 games last year. See a couple of the non-playing Raw players in tracksuits in the stands as well. There's McGarry with the long throw, met by Martin.
I mean, we were talking before kickoff there about where would Martin play, because he could play all over the park.
And Salas on the edge of the box plays it in nicely, and long go to ground, and not entirely sure there was enough there for the penalty under the challenge from the Queensland defenders.
No, not at all. I mean, you can see Long having a little smile there, a little hug with Tom Fell as well. The referee, he knows that he went down a wee bit easy there.
Just a little bit. It was Reece Gray, the defender, with the challenge. Lofted delivery towards the back post and eventually cleared away towards Salas again. I think he's going to be heavily featured. Not sure how long he'll play. But he is the first to react to this long ball over the top, trying to pick out Alex Fechner. A few of these guys in different numbers than we're used to as well. I'm told that was in part down to the sizing of the kits that arrived for the Queensland players. Takes me back to my very, very unsuccessful playing days, having to take whichever shirt fits.
Yeah, and no new James throughout the season, that would change. Well, I know that from authority that Niall Joseph was demanding the number 9 jersey that he's unable to get at Peninsula Power. So
well, that explains why he's got that tonight. Niall Joseph, the prolific scorer from Penn Power. Salas in for Jordan Lawton. Gary with the shot from range, and that'll go flying into the car park underneath the PCYC gym.
I mean, he's certainly got that in his locker. It come back in onto his right peg. You see the play when it comes out to him. He only had one thing on his mind when he took that touch. Get onto his right, have a go.
And Dimitri Valkanis involved in a challenge there. The goal is out for the throw-in. few Valcanis's at the Raw this season as Coach Michael has brought his sons in and they're featured in the NPL for the Raw over the close of the campaign. Mitre coming from AK Athens.
Really good club, AK Athens. It's really difficult to play there. That's good defending from the Costa Rican international.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to spot, Salas. Chance to thank him for making him easy to spot as he puts on the afterburners to try and chase that one down, but no match for the pace of Jack Hudson. So, Alan, some of our viewers tonight might be tuning in, seeing some of these NPL players for the first time, and we'll try and give a little bit of background on them as well, because there's not always that clear crossover between the NPL and the A-League supporters, and do our best to showcase the best of the local competition, which you and I commentate on week in, week out here on FQTV.
They were so fortunate to so fortunate to be able to commentate on these games. I mean, the Queensland side, I really couldn't pick the best side looking this season. So many top quality players. You know, you look at even up front, I mean, the decision to play Walters, I mean, he's up there, but probably for his strength, but you've got so much quality on the bench, you know. Even you look at the team, Lawrence Kant is on the bench, he's unable to get into the side, kind of shows you how strong the middle of the park is. And you've got internationals in the NPL side, Akbari. So, I mean, I think it's closer than you'll think, although Brisbane Rov definitely had the better opening spell here.
That they have, as they have looked incredibly sharp in pre-season, as Valcanis has put his stamp on this side, and Fideus just using his muscle to hold off McGarry, and see that behind for a goal kick. But on the work that Valcanis has done rebuilding this Raw side after, again, a rough couple of years. We remember the constant coaching changes from a couple of years ago, and then last year's second to last place finish as Fechner is straight offside. But speaking to some of the people around the Raw, they're saying that Valcanis has done a great job just instilling a lot of belief in this side as well. He's come in, he's been clear with his expectations and his style of play. As you've got to give him plenty of credit for that, as it is a side that does sort of need a few wins here and there just to get a little bit of confidence back.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Confidence is... Here we go.
Oh, it's Fechner is straight offside again as his battle with the assistant on the far side continues.
I really thought that was tight from our angle up here. I thought Fechner just strayed onside, but you know, obviously the linesman certainly has a much better view than me.
Just a bit closer.
And a lot more experience.
But yeah, that's the thing that stands out to me. So Valcanis, he's had a couple of stints coaching in the A-League as an interim with Adelaide and Melbourne City, but he's gone and worked overseas, and he could be in here now with Long into the box. Great save made by Thurtell to deny Christopher Long.
It's actually really good play there from Long. That touch is superb. That is a top draw touch. That's the professional level there, right there. But Thurtell, he gets down, positions himself nicely, makes a save as Long's in again here.
Into the edge of the box now, looking to square it to the back post. Is there a runner coming through? Georgios Vrakas, one of the Greek brigade, I believe.
You are correct.
He's on the ball with that whipped left foot, the right foot cross in, trying to find the head of Justin Vidic. And this Raw side is looking busy early on.
I mean, they're definitely up in the ante, putting the pressure on. It was a good play initially from Long, and it comes back out here. McGarry, I thought he was going to have another go when the delivery eventually does come into the box. Vidic probably feels he should do better there.
Indeed, as we're now back to live pictures with Rahmat Akbari moving towards the far sideline, back for Deus. There's your favourite player, McGowan.
Although he let his runner get a head on him there with Vidic just before, so he's in my bad books for the moment.
You wouldn't know McGowan is in his late mid-30s, I think is the official description. But he's been a mainstay around this NPL competition. You remember him playing for Brisbane Strikers when they went on their FFA Cup run back in 2019. such a consistent player across the board, Michael McGowan.
Also played a lot of football in Scotland's League 2 at the professional level. I believe he's played around about 200 games in that level, so he's definitely got professional experience. Although
one of these days I've actually got to work out how many appearances he's made here in Queensland, because I feel like he'd be up there in terms of all-time appearance leaders. Here's a new man for NPL Queensland in 2025, Hudson. Gray, he's playing inverted off the left this time around with Deus on the right. Gray playing it first time through, but Walters didn't quite read the run. Salas has time to measure that pass. Vidic with a clever bit of positioning with his hands, and now with a chance to run at McGowan. Vidic putting on the afterburners for stopping in his tracks. O'Shea barking out some orders behind him. Salas. Switch of play right to the feet of McGarry Navrakis. And there for Lawton, the shot blocked by Martin. And still battling in the 18-yard box before it's eventually hooked away. Fechner now trying to chase it down. And good defending again by Valkanis.
Queensland just struggling to get out at the moment. Brisbane are all over them. I think Rowe just still have another gear to go in as well. You see Vidic when he gets the ball out wide, he slows it down. He tries to do those little step overs, and McGowan gets into position. He had McGowan exactly where we would have wanted him. McGowan's not a player that likes to get the ball out on that left side. He wants to stay central, win headers, and be in a dogfight. And Queensland are able to make the clearance, but then from there they're not able to do anything with it.
Deus gives up the foul there as he sprints back into position.
I mean, Deus, you look at him and you don't, speed doesn't come to your mind, but he is deceptively quick out there.
He certainly isn't. I feel like I mention this every second time I do one of his games, but he's so versatile as well, as he's played just about everywhere in his time in the NPL Queensland League after moving from the Central Coast Mariners Academy, where he was coached by Ben Kahn.
There you go. Small world, isn't it?
It certainly is, and you know, Ben was always so complimentary of his versatility, work rate. Right back does feel like his strongest position, but he's played everywhere. I even remember games where he was an out-and-out lone striker.
You know what? The way he plays the game, I could see him as a decent lone striker, having that pace and strength to hold up the ball. So, very interesting. But he is. I mean, he does play a lot of out left back for Knights. Which you can tell that the right foot's his dominant side.
Well, to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that this year was the first time he not only missed the finals for his club, but also didn't make the grand final. No, correction, that was last year. Knights missed the grand final in 2024. Anyway, we're just talking here as O'Shea looks to kickstart another counter-attack as Long got creative with the back heel.
Queensland just, when they get the ball, looking a little bit stretched. The midfield's too far away from the defence. It's forcing McGowan and Gray there just to go long. And then there's no one to hit, and the ball just comes back at them.
And I suppose that is the risk you get with the combination all-star selection sides as well, where you've got a few guys from the same team involved, but they're not always going to be on the same page. Whereas this Raw side, they've been training together since pre-season started back in late June, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. You've got these really talented players, though, all coming together in the Queensland team, and then they're coming into different systems. And obviously the Penn Power boys know exactly how Aaron Phillips is going to want to play. But outside of that, the boys are coming into it, trying to work the shape, kind of figure out where everybody is, get to know everybody, although a lot of them have played together in the Queensland team before.
As Walters has gotten in involvement with someone back play, but looks like they're both back on the field. I think that was Stajic, who is in fact in 77. Buzanis over to Valkanis.
The other thing as well, of course, is this is end of season for the Queensland players, and it's a start of season for the Brisbane Roar boys. So it's always interesting how does that come up against each other. You know, we have this conversation a lot in Europe.
As Brown now trying to bring that one under control, can't get it out from under his feet.
Yeah, I was just saying we have these conversations all the time in Europe with the Champions League and Europa League qualifiers, where you have some European teams are midway through their season, other European teams at the start, and competing against each other. They all make excuses up saying these guys are fresh, but these guys are in the middle of their season. So it's depends on which way it turns out where the end result is.
Indeed. Now O'Shea, Salas. I've seen Billity, another player who is a holdover from last year, as he was on loan with the Roar in 2024-25 and now has been signed permanently. Hossein Billity, signed from Mitre in Portugal on a permanent deal this off-season. And one of those players, he got off to a rough start last year, I thought, Billity, but he certainly grew into that role in the centre of the Roar's defence and definitely was one of the big improvers as the side took too long to get going, it has to be said, but Billity was one of those players who did become a reliable, steady presence.
Well, he's certainly not the only one that struggled with Brisbane Roar last season, but you're right, he's calm, he's composed, he's actually just probably got used to the boys around him.
And certainly a player with a bright resume as well in some of the Australian underage representative teams as well. So we see this foul committed again by Shelford Deus.
I think it's actually given as a foul on... Yeah, it's a Queensland free kick here. Is it? Am I just being daft?
I think it's going to be... Oh, it is.
Okay.
Okay, well, there you go. Again, just defer to the guy in the yellow shirt who's a lot closer than we are. Long free kick towards the back and just too tall for Michael McGowan.
Well, that definitely looked like something they'd walked off the training pitch there.
Brown just raises his hand in apology, saying, sorry, I think the adrenaline got the better of me there.
I mean, we've seen, for those of you who don't watch the NPL level, I mean, we seen Martin. He hasn't really been in the game, number 7 up top, but
Walters.
Walters, my apologies. But yeah, he hasn't really been in the game, but you see him, he just steps up and he'll come up with a chance and he'll take it. He's very clinical.
And the ball did wind up in the back of the net as we see Buzanis launching the goal kick as McGowan wound up on the ground.
I think that's Vidic just leaving a little marker there.
Well, you know how we were saying before kickoff, any thought of this being a friendly does sort of go out the window when first ball is kicked and Brown was trying to chase that one down. Buzanis read it well.
I mean, that's all the modern day keeper now. The no longer on the line. He was already out the box by the time that pass was played.
And we'll see exactly what's going on. But you look at some of the games that these NPL players have featured in across all competitions. This is League, Kappa Pro Series, Kappa Queensland Cup, Han Australia Cup for some of them, and the NPL finals. I mean, Jordan Thurtell, the man on the ball, he's played 34 games for Penn Power this season. And, you know, Reece Gray, number 2, 33 games. Jack Hudson, 32 games. And this is all for what is officially a semi-professional league.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And that's the thing. If you have success, you play more football. And those boys, you know, they'll tell you they want to be playing football. They want to be playing those amount of games.
As Long picks up the ball after it was stolen from O'Shea, and Akbari goes down under heavy contact and will come back for stoppage as Akbari was clattered into. It was a heavy contact. You could hear it through the effects microphones and the cries of pain from the former Brisbane Roar and Melbourne Victory man. Let's see what the replay tells us, Alan.
I think it looks like it was a 50-50. Akbari just a little bit sharper to the ball.
Indeed, but he is back on his feet and playing on now. Ball to Fechner. O'Shea evading Brown and playing it away before Kenshin Takagishi can close him down. Takagishi, the only Moreton City Excelsior player involved in the squad tonight, but that's nothing against what the side Cam Miller has built there. They have a very good excuse for being too involved because they're preparing for their Australian Championship campaign.
Which the entire state of Queensland will be behind for Moreton City Excelsior, I'm sure about it. I mean, they've had such a great season, Moreton City Excelsior. I mean, it's so good for them to get that drought and win the league. I mean, James, you're an Australian. You tell me, what's more important? Is it winning the league or is it winning the grand final? I would say winning the league, but you take the wheel.
Well, I'm going to say in Australia it is the grand final. However, with the way the competition is structured, you get more benefits from winning the league. You get the entry into the Australian Championship, which is arguably the biggest carrot beyond actually winning the grand final. And it's still, it's still silverware as well. And that's something that I feel was so important for Moreton City this year, was winning a trophy, whether it was, the league, the grand final, or one of the cup competitions that we've got. They've got 3 straight grand finals and haven't won one of those.
Yeah, the thing is that they're getting there. They're getting to the finals. They're getting so close, but they just be missing out. I mean, Walters left the club to.
Well, turnover now here as Fechner will take the first time strike, and it's a tame effort towards Buzanis.
I seen there Walters was screaming for the pass from Fechner when it came to him, but I mean, Fechner's had such a good season with the Lions. I mean, I'd be surprised if he didn't shoot.
Gray trying to play Brown through. Here go the raw through Salas once again. 3 maroon jerseys trying to stop him, and eventually it is Takagishi doing just that. So Takagishi, this will be his only featured appearance for the Queensland side in the Mitre Festival of Football. He'll be heading back to join Moreton City. I think there are a few guys in that side that would be deserving participants in this team were they not prepping for the Australian Championship. Takagishi with 29 appearances and 8 goals in all competitions for Cam Miller's side.
Scoring's great for him, but what he brings to the side is just that technical know-how in the middle of the park, and he's so creative, very agile.
Helpful when he's come from the Japanese J2 league. Let's talk to one of our other commentators, Adam Cattell, and I've seen him a couple of times. He was going, how did Moreton City manage to swipe this guy up?
How did they?
Shrewd bit of recruiting. There's Brown. And he passed away. Now the switch is on for Gray, who's operating as a left wing almost here as he tries to find a way through. Salas gets a pass back to Brown, evading one challenge. Can't get past the second. Queensland still in possession. Gray with the curling ball, which looks like Gray might have been in 2 minds there. Shot or cross, and end up splitting the difference between the two.
I mean, that's the thing. It's a bit of a struggle when you've got 2 right-footed right and left backs there. It comes out to Gray. He certainly is whipping that in, I think. He's just overhit it. Does come out to him. He's got the confidence. Don't get me wrong there, but that definitely looks like a ball towards that back post. He's a dominant right-sided player for Peninsula Power. So it's interesting that he is actually the man playing left, considering Diaz has
that experience on the left. He does.
I mean, I'm speaking to a lot of players that play right and left back, and they'll tell you that although they seem similar, they're actually a lot different positions.
I've heard it's sort of the same as, across various codes of football as well. When you go from right to left, it's essentially like trying to do everything with the opposite hand. As Gray now in that left back position can't get through Salas, and well, look, with all due respect to Reece Gray, he's got a pretty tough matchup tonight against the Costa Rican international.
Yes, I mean, I haven't seen an awful lot of him, to be fair, but so far he's looked so quick and a tough one from him.
Well, he's come here with a point to prove, Houston Salas. And Barry trying to get a piece of O'Shea's jersey. I think maybe he can try again at halftime, as he just gets told no more by Mr. Fell.
I think if this was a competitive match, that'd be a booking.
Yeah, the cynicism for that challenge fairly high, but Valkanis. And look, I know it is only pre-season, but with the way that the Roar have played it through their 7 or so fixtures since they got underway, the friendlies against local NPL and FQPL opposition, as well as their Roar roadshow going to play teams like the Mariners, Auckland FC, you can't help but feel optimistic that this is a side that is trending upwards after a few years where they've been rough to follow, and I say that from personal experience.
Well, when I moved to Australia, I was with the Ange Postecoglou area where Brisbane Roar were the top side in A-League.
Boy, did you have a soft landing.
I think the A-League needs a good Brisbane Roar side.
Exactly, and well, they could be in here with Lawton with the strike and a rocket straight past Thurtell. And there was not much they could do about that as Jordan Lawton opens the scoring here for the Roar, 1-0.
I mean, that is some strike. There is no keeper that is saving that. When the ball comes through, wonderful finish. Comes onto his left peg, and he just strikes that with absolute venom. Thurtell, he's a big lad, he's a big keeper, but he's getting down. I mean, what a finish. That is a top draw finish, James.
And Thurtell, one of the best shot stoppers in the competition. If you ask the Penn Power coaching staff, they'll say the best. I think it's 1A and 1B between him and Josh Langdon. But, I mean, find me a keeper that'll stop that without breaking a bone in their hands, because that was travelling.
I mean, I don't think there's any keeper in the league or in A-League or professional level that's going to save that. That is unbelievable strike.
Well, we were just talking about cause for optimism with the Roar, and
there you go.
There you go. So 1-0 in favour of the A-League side as Marquez Walters gets involved. So, Alan, time for a little bit of head-to-head history between these two. This is the 4th time we've had the Roar against the Queensland All-Stars. Back in 2020 up at what is now known as KO Stadium in Redcliffe. It was 5-2 to Brisbane. Joey Champness with a hat-trick. Scott McDonald with a brace, all before half-time. For McHenry and an own goal from Macaulay Gillespie. Got 2 back for the Queensland All-Stars that December afternoon. And see if you remember what we were talking about before. And do you remember who the lead commentator was that day?
Simon Hill.
It certainly was.
And I think there was a young James Coughlin involved there too, wasn't there?
There was. Myself and Simon Smale got to do that one. It was pretty cool, if I do say so myself, as Takagishi gives away the foul on O'Shea, and O'Shea's getting a bit of a kicking at the moment. And now Takagishi gets told that's enough. So a few guys on last warnings. So that was 2020, 2021 here at Perry Park. It was Queensland 3, Roar 2. And we'll come back to that after this free kick. It's the right foot of O'Shea, left foot of McGarry. So it could be either one of them. McGarry's running past it, and it's left for O'Shea. Driving, ball headed away by Akbari. Fechner battling for possession with Stajic, and free kick for Queensland. Lawton was involved again. He's been busy. But back to 2021, so it was Keegan Jelicic, Eli Adams, and Rio Ono scoring for the NPL side. Jelicic with the penalty. And it was Luke Ivanovic and Ramad Akbar scoring for the Roar on that occasion.
The Queensland.
Strong challenge there on Walters as he goes down. Okay, and Queensland was up 2-0 after 27 minutes before the All-Stars came back with a flourish. It's 2-2 at half-time. And then last year out at Underwood Park, the concept was brought back. Strong challenge by McGowan. It was a scoreless first half. Luke Francis from Wynnum Wolves scored about 30 seconds into the second half before Ben Halloran and Quinn McNichol, two role players not involved tonight but still in Michael Valkanis' squad. Halloran 69 minutes with a very nice goal, and McNichol the 90th minute winner at the home of his junior club, Underwood Park. His dad Scott was the NPL coach there for a while a few years ago. Brown gets the pass away for Deus. The low ball, and that's unable to get through the sea of orange, and Deus gives away the free kick.
That's a little bit disappointing there, I think, for Deus. Queensland actually work it real well. Good play from Max Brown. I mean, he's battling it to win the ball there. Deus just disappointed with the delivery, couldn't lift it. I think it was Walters was going at the back post looking for it, but Queensland need to sort of take their chances when they do get forward.
And just wires getting a little bit cross there between Long and Salas. Slipped out for Tyson Martin, one of the players to feature for the Raw's NPL side years ago. Pressure on Buzanis, and it just carried into the 18-yard box.
I think Grave is a bit more committed there. Might have had his chances.
It's also one of those situations where the keeper is so protected. You don't want to get that one wrong.
The back what you're saying there about Martin, I think he's a coach's dream to have in your side. I mean, like you said, he can play so many different positions, but he's so committed.
So every time I watch him, I feel like his strongest position is something different to what it was going into the match. And Walters, again, getting involved in a tussle with Valkanis. Downers. Walters is just getting a talking to from the referee while we're in replay, as Martin was the one that hit that one the first time. And I think Walters was trying to hope that Valkanis could become transparent.
Yeah, I think Walters there just getting yellow carded as well. But I mean, he looked a wee bit frustrated there, Walters. He's not really had much service, as we did talk about. And he just sort of leaving one there on Valkanis.
If there's one guy you probably don't want to challenge in this Raw team, it is the coach's son.
Absolutely. Although, you know, if you leave a mark on him, he might put a good mention in for the coach.
Well, we know what Marquez Walters is capable of. One of the dynamic young goal scorers. Salas gets it in for Long, who feeds O'Shea. Can't get the return pass back through. So again, like, this may be a common theme with some of these players, but Marquez Walters, coming off 21 goals in all competitions this season for Gold Coast Knights, after a prolific run with Moreton City Excelsior / Moreton Bay. He was with the Raw NPL side in 2020 before making the move to Brisbane City. Ability getting the foul on Fechner, and perhaps somewhat smartly, Ability is very quickly back in position. These sides will do it all again on Tuesday night up at AJ Kelly Park. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. So Mitre Festival of Football rolls on. Then Tuesday the 30th of September, 7:30 p.m. at Imperial Corp Stadium, home of Brisbane City, and a pizza oven. It is the NPL Women's All-Stars against the Raw's A-League Women's side. Ninja A-League side is the official name. And then Friday the 3rd of October, this NPL All-Star side will take on Moreton City Excelsior before their Australian Championship opener. Hudson just apologising for making his teammate run as much as he did.
I mean, credit there to Walters, because I don't think he was ever going to get to that. He gave it a go.
It's the effort plays that you put on, well, I was going to say on tape, but it's now game footage digitised.
You can still say tape. VCR.
Sure, there's still one or two floating around somewhere, but in the meantime, here goes Valkanis trying to play it through, finding Vidic. And Akbari cautious in the challenge. O'Shea. The sea of maroon spinning onto his right foot. First time cross from Salas, and offside flag goes up against Vidic, who I think might have lost his footing in the process anyway. Alan, you remember the Cup final day we had here 3 weeks ago, where that corner of the Perry Park pitch was a little bit soft underfoot. It looks like it recovered well for grand final day last weekend, but you know, with the rain we had last Saturday and just how muggy it is, it could be quite slippery underfoot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can sort of see it just by looking at that side of the park that it has looking like it's come up a bit there. But, I mean, I think you're really, really kind on Vidic there. I think he went down with a nudge Diaz, but you're definitely right. Over that side of the park is certainly slippy. And
that is the side that does get quite a bit of shade in the afternoons as well, as the deflected cross fell to Valkanis to calmly head back to Buzanis. 10 minutes to go here in the first half of the Mitre Festival of Football. NPL Queensland All-Stars against the Brisbane Roars Isuzu Ute A-League side. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll bringing you all the action on FQTV. I'm very pleased to have your company. If you are tuning in, as Hudson with the beautiful slide tackle, and well, take your pick on what that could have been. I think a couple of near fouls and maybe a possible handball against Hudson, but let's just keep it going.
Hudson does really well there. That was exceptional defending from Hudson. Ball does hit his hand, but he also got fouled as well, so we'll play on.
And I think the handball rule can be anyone's guess at the moment in terms of what is and isn't a natural position. So even if the ball did strike his hand, whether it's a handball, I don't know if we got a coin to toss.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about the handball rule at the moment. I mean, they talk about a footballer making the decision because a footballer knows the distance and whether they could get the hand out the way. Referee doesn't really have that experience.
Oh, that's a beautiful ball through for Salas to try and square it back, and a desperation lunge in from Deus. And well, that is the work rate we've been talking about, Alan, from Shelford Deus. He had to get that challenge right, and did.
I mean, he's the one, it's a great pass, you're right, what a ball this is. But when it comes across, Deus is the one that's tracking the runner.
Now the action in the box results in a goal kick. Last touch off Justin Vidic.
But Deus, yeah, he's coming in from his far right side. He's coming across and he's tracking the runners. That's what you need from your defenders, especially when you're playing, you know, top opposition, top players. You need to be putting the effort in at the back, not just going forward. Although, you know, Queensland have struggled to get up the pitch, but they've defended relatively well, I think.
Yeah, that one moment of brilliance from Lawton aside, as Walters is fouled.
Gary, I think, there.
And just that is going to be a yellow card for McGarry.
I mean, I think that's the correct decision. It's a wee bit frustrating from a Queensland point of view. It's the first time that Walters has got the ball and he's turned his man and he's able to start running, and he's just getting pulled back from McGarry. And I think once the referee books Walters early, I think he's got to make the booking as well there for McGarry.
Indeed, now turned over, done by O'Shea, and he's found himself in a bit of space to measure this pass to the top of the 18-yard box. It's Lawton again with the curling effort this time, and a diving grab from Thurtell.
I mean, it's the right attempt to do there from Lawton, as he's tried to bend it into that top left corner away from Thurtell, but those are the things that Thurtell is great at. I mean, his positioning is excellent here, and even if that's gone top corner, I think I'll put my money on him saving it.
Indeed, it just didn't quite seem like it had the pace on it to make the difference between scoring and forcing the save.
I mean, I think if he puts his foot through it like his last goal, I think his goal, I think.
That's either in the back of the net or leaving a dent in the wall of the gym behind us. Or worse yet, hitting one of the cars if he's got the angle just right. Either way, Ability wins the ball back. And clever turn from Varakis. He's looking for support, and well, it's found its way to Lawton again. McGarry thought about the first time shot, now back on his right foot, tees it up for O'Shea, gets through. Jay O'Shea to the byline, and from a tight angle forces the one-handed save from Thurtell. And this Raw side, when they can get things going, they are humming.
I mean, once again, O'Shea just tremendous as it comes out to him here. It sort of escapes him, but he manages to still run with it. I think Gray doesn't put enough of a challenge in that allows O'Shea just to drive into the box. When he gets there, he's sort of on a tight angle. It's really difficult to beat Thurtell from that range. But, I mean, just the consistency to keep going is just such a good player.
And I wonder how much of that is also just down to Gray knowing he's in his 18-yard box, and it's an all-or-nothing situation, and maybe it's okay to let him run and take the shot from the angle, putting the faith in Thurtell to make the stop. And it's still there with the acrobatic attempt from Austin Vidic, trying to cut that one out.
It was a good delivery there. I think it's just sort of bouncing around, and Vidic just throwing his foot at it. I think he might have caught his Hudson there, possibly holding his ankle, but yeah, Vidic, I mean, so far he's such a smart player. Vidic, quite intelligent. We see the delivery again. Brisbane Roar looking to come short, leaving the space out. Catch it. That's actually Gray that gets collected, but he seems to be okay. It's Hudson that was just limping, but he's back on his feet, good to go.
And that's what you want from these games, with naturally the promise for the Queensland players of end-of-season holidays coming up, and also for the Raw, the upcoming Isuzu Ute A-League season. Gray managed to keep that one in. The Raw bench think it was out. Valkanis just asking, hold the ball over the whole of the line, sir. And Gray just getting marched back a few metres, well, more than a few metres. I can understand why that one was pulled up.
That was a few feet.
That was a few legs. And just too tall for Deus.
Yeah, I think I mean Aaron Phillips probably going to be reasonably happy at how Queensland have defended and held their own against Brisbane Roar, but I think he'll be a bit frustrated at their transition into attack. There's a lot of gaps between the forward line and the midfield at the moment that they'll need to try and squeeze if they're going to get anything for it.
Well, here goes Vidic, trying to find a way past McGowan. Watched closely by McGowan, and Martin plays it back for the cross, and Hudson's header falls to the feet of Varakis, and from close range, no luck for the Raw. And they are continuing to threaten this Queensland goal, but with no luck as they try to double their advantage late in the first half. Now, Walters trying to just get the ball to sit down for him, and he does just that over the top. Now, Fechner and Brizana's a long way out. And finishing this first half with a flourish. Brown over for Akbari. Deus through for McGowan. Gets it to Gray. And the pinball ends with the football at the feet of McGowan. Back to Thurtell.
Yeah, a couple of minutes to go. I think Brisbane Roar just trying to just calm the tempo down by the looks of it here as they try and get to half time, so they can come out the second half with a little bit more energy. I mean, they've done the last 5 minutes or so, it's started to build up a little bit more of a flourish, like you say, James. Queensland just starting to get a little bit more braver, I think, without really much success. What it has done is left a little bit more gaps that Brisbane Roar are exploiting, although here comes Queensland.
Beautiful
now.
Turn there by Walters to get past Valkanis. First time pass trying to find Brown, but Billity read that well and stuck a foot out to take it away from Max Brown, who has a habit of scoring big goals at this ground, most notably 2022 NPL Men's Grand Final, the opener for Gold Coast Knights.
And what a ton there from Walters. He really makes that chance, Walters. Ball across, like you said, Max Brown, he's always committed. I mean, he's busting a gut to get into the box to try and support Queensland, and if it comes through to him, you know he's gonna tuck that away. I think all these forward players for Queensland have got a lot of talent. They just need that chance.
Indeed, and a chance for Queensland to strike back from the set piece. Lofted delivery. It's headed away by Ability. Akbari on the volley and just sliced down on the ball to send it onto the hill. And the Ball Kid Brigade there to try and retrieve it for Dean Bouzanis. Ramad Akbari is coming off a busy season with Gold Coast Knights. 26 appearances, 19 in the NPL, and he's had better strikes than that.
I think as the ball bounced, I don't think it bounces quite as he was expecting it. Sort of lifted a bit higher than he wanted to go. I mean, he's had a good season. He's obviously played internationally this year as well, Akbari. So he's had a very successful season personally and with Knights. So it's not a surprise that he's in this Queensland side.
It's not a surprise that, it's kind of nice if you're one of the NPL players says, oh yeah, sorry, I've got to miss out a couple of weeks because I'm on national team duty. It's a big bonus as we have 1 minute of added time signalled by our fourth official, Kenzie Janes.
I mean, as a Scotsman, I think there's no higher honour than playing for your country.
And I think that's very much true here as well, where, you know, you can think of one of your countrymen, David Moyes, wasn't a big fan of the likes of Tim Cahill flying over to play for Australia at certain times, but also couldn't begrudge him the opportunity afforded to him to represent his nation. And that pass had a lot of pace on it, but Bouzanis not troubled, and no luck chasing down that one for the Raw.
I mean, it is some going for the Asian and Oceania nations, like Australia, and the players when they're playing. You know, they want to play in the top divisions. They want to play against the best players, and at the moment that's in Europe. So to play games in Europe and then fly, 24, 28 hours across the Pacific or across the oceans to go play for your country. It's
and that will bring an end to the first half here at Perry Park. Jordan Lawton's 25th minute strike is all that separates these two sides, with the Brisbane Roar leading the NPL Queensland All-Stars by 1-0. Alan, pretty entertaining first half.
Oh, really entertaining. I mean, it kind of went the way I was expecting. Brisbane Roar were, you could tell they're the professional outfit. You could tell they've got the quality. They were creating really top chances. You look at Lawton's finish. But Queensland have held their own, and they're good for the second half.
And that is where we stand. We are going to step away for a few minutes, and we'll be back after these messages with the halftime highlights.
Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
How do I feel this time? What's going on?
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Welcome back, everybody, to Perry Park. It is the Mitre Festival of Football between the Brisbane Roar and the NPL Queensland All-Stars. James Coughlin, Alan Kroll in commentary, and it was plenty of chances in the first half, but only one was able to be converted, and it was this rocket from Jordan Lawton.
I mean, like we said on commentary, what a finish that is when it comes through him on his left foot. You have one of the best goalkeepers in the league behind the sticks, and he gets absolutely nowhere near that. Wonderful finish, so much power into the roof, and you can't beat it, James.
No, you cannot, and the Raw definitely shading the chances in the first half. Jay O'Shea gliding around the pitch and now trying to set up Lawton for another chance with this curling effort that was gratefully grabbed by Jordan Thurtell, the Queensland keeper. And O'Shea, the quick feet going, and from the tight angle forcing the save, and it's the first touch that made this move happen there off the deflection from Reece Gray.
Yeah, I mean, it's just consistency. I think O'Shea kind of runs into a difficult angle. I think Gray needs to put a little bit more of his foot on it, but like you say.
Best moment for Queensland in the first half. There's Walsh's brilliant turn, but Hossein Billity, who might be the standout player for the Raw in the first half, was there with that last-ditch challenge.
I mean, the Raw, they haven't really had to do an awful lot of defending, but when they have done, they've stood up tall. I mean, Queensland have struggled to create any clear-cut and obvious chances, but I mean, you look at the replays there, the best chance is that one that's cleared over the line as it comes to Max Brown.
There are some of the substitutes warming up across the pitch. I can see one-time NPL Queensland co-commentator Macklin Freak in the background. We might see him in goals at some point soon. Sam Klein, a player with plenty of NPL Queensland experience, but there is Macklin Freak. So it looks like the backup to Dean Bouzanis at the moment, but a very capable shot stopper in his own right.
Top quality keeper. I think he played a bit last season, Matthew Freak. But I think they just needed that little bit more experience. I think it'll be good for him as well to play alongside Bouzanis.
And still relatively young as well, in his mid-20s. Although we're not that young, so we need another break coming up. So we're going to step away for a few minutes and be back with the second half after these messages.
Excellence. Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give.
Baby girl.
At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
jam it over the line.
Who is the house working this time?
One straight off.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
We are here at Perry Park, the home of football in Queensland, for the Mitre Festival of Football Week 3, as the NPL Queensland Men's All-Stars take on the Brisbane Roar Isuzu Ute A-League team. It is 1-0 at halftime in favour of the team in orange and white. And you can see the Roar's new signings, Matthew Dench warming up as we await the second half. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll in commentary, bringing all the action on FQTV. Very pleased to have your company on this Saturday night, as well, it is the wonderful mix, Alan, of the local postseason and the professional pre-season.
Oh, exactly. I've really enjoyed that first 45 minutes, and I love those two type of positions for the side coming together. Who's got it better, the team that's played the entire season or the team that's just warming up? I'd say Roar, by the looks of things. I mean, they've played a few pre-season games, they're getting up to speed. The Queensland boys, I wouldn't say they're looking tired, but they've had a long season.
And it is also a reminder of just how long the season has been, as Matt Acton catches up with a couple of his former teammates. So Acton spent until June as part of the Roar's A-League setup. And there's young Oscar Page, the third goalkeeper for the Roar in tonight's squad. But Matt Acton, so he played a handful of games for the Roar this season, then went to Lions, and 7 days ago won the NPL Grand Final for Lions in that epic 2-1 clash with Moreton City Excelsior.
That was such a good game. I mean, you had the privilege of being there and calling one of the best goals of the season, I'd say, where we Skinner, who's another player who could easily be in this squad for Queensland. But I mean, Matt Acton, he is a top draw keeper. I mean, I think Lions have done really well to get him.
Yeah, and it's certainly going to be an interesting second half. You look at some of the names that the teams have got on the bench, and there's Luke Beckwith, the lone Gold Coast United representative, his first season at Coppock Family Sports Park after making the move from Gold Coast Knights. And I think we may have some changes coming up as well, so we'll have a lot to keep track of. There's Mirko Crociati of Brisbane City, formerly Southwest Queensland Thunder, and the Italian defender. He's proven to be a bit of a cult figure since moving to Queensland back in 2020.
I think Brisbane City really suits him. He's captaining that side this season.
Wait. So you're saying the Italian defender is well suited at Brisbane City?
I mean, who would have thought? who would have thought, James? But I mean, he was tremendous this year for Brisbane City. I mean, he was instrumental in their Australia Cup progress as well. So I think he had a really good season. And like you said, Beckwith, Gold Coast United representative, so I think he'd be a real asset to come off the bench. A lot of these players would have to come off the bench. Be interested to see who has been changed for Crociati and if there is any other changes.
Well, there's a little bit of a surprise. Is you can see Kenshin Takagishi still there for the Queensland All-Stars, and it looks like Michael Valkanis is keeping a relatively similar team to his starting 11 out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, firstly for the Queensland State team, number 3 Jack Hudson has been replaced by number 5 Mirko Crociati, and for the Brisbane Roar, number 17 Justin Vidic has been replaced by number 13 Henry Hall.
Well, there you go. Thanks to Slater, the ground announcer, for those halftime substitutions. So Jack Hudson for Queensland has been replaced by Mirko Crociati from Brisbane City. And for the Raw, Justin Vidic has been withdrawn, and he will be replaced by that man on your screen, Henry Hoare, who has no shortage of experience both for the Raw and here in NPL Queensland, Alan.
I mean, I think those are two good changes for both sides. I think for Brisbane Raw, I think Vidic was making a nuisance of himself. He was getting in good positions, but I think Hoare just gives that different style of attacking play that we've seen here at NPL level. And yeah, like for Queensland, I think Crociati will bring that defensive resilience, but I think Hudson had done really well in that first half anyway. I don't think it's a major change for Queensland.
And you know, it's the phrase that does draw a bit of the ire of the traditionalists, but load management. These two sides are going to play again on Tuesday night up at AJ Kelly Park, and there's possibly, we might see a few more changes coming through to keep these players fresh, although there are a number of guys not involved tonight who we hope to see in the coming time, especially for the Raw. So some of the names that have featured in pre-season but aren't involved tonight: Asim Sehovic, Marcus Fakranis, Austin Ludwig, Lucas Harrington, Nathan Amanatidis, Ben Halloran, Quinn McNichol, James Durrington and Ivan Ozzie. All players not involved tonight, but guys who have featured in some of their pre-season friendlies, as Henry Hoare gets a welcome to the pitch from Shelford Dais. It's the old Lions Olympic rivalry gets reignited between those two.
There'll be no shortage of battling out that side with Dais.
Right with this timed lunge, and it could be caught out here as Ruckus gets fouled, and that is going to be a yellow card for Gray.
Yeah, I think Gray's just a little bit slow. He's behind the ball there. Brisbane will do really well to break up the pitch quite quickly, and he does what they say in the game, a little bit of a professional foul.
Indeed, and Gray, I think, is probably aware of what happened there. A couple of mistimed challenges as the players come out of the halftime break. So second Queensland player booked, Reece Gray, joining Marquez Walters and James McGarry. Leo McGarry. I think that's going to be a common thing this off-season. I've just done a West Wing rewatch. So O'Shea and McGarry over the free kick. Here's O'Shea. He loves the free kick. O'Shea and forces the diving save out of Thurtell.
Yeah, it's a really good strike there from O'Shea. Get it round the wall and aim for the bottom corner. It's actually really difficult to do from that range. And Thurtell, he gets down really well, really quickly, makes a save. It probably is one you'd expect him to make, but he does it well.
He certainly does. And O'Shea, he is good at set pieces. I think back to a pre-season friendly where they took on Easts, I'd say about 4 years ago, out at Heath Park, and O'Shea scored the only goal of the game from an absolutely brilliant free kick. Maybe a little bit closer in, but springs to mind as O'Shea now looks to turn provider, and it's over the head of just about everyone, and Stajic just sends that one high and wide.
Well, I think everyone's sort of moving towards that front post as the ball comes in from O'Shea. The only one drifting out there, and he's all by himself really when it comes out to Stajic there, and he just leaning back as he strikes.
Brilliant touch by Brown through the legs, trying to free up Walters. The offside flag has stayed down on the Knights attacker. Walters cutting back into the box, trying to find space for the shot. Can't curl it around. Almost found Brown though. I think he might have been aiming at the post, but turned into a delivery. Akbari gives up the free kick. Walters, he is someone who is definitely on the radar of the A-League clubs over the last couple of years as well. He's been one of the shining lights of NPL Queensland, Marquez Walters, and this is his chance to really make the mark.
Yeah, what I like about Walters is he's a throwback to an old school striker. He comes from the streets. He drives. He's always willing. He's always positive. He always tries to create chances. You've seen as the ball came out there, he had no intention of finding anyone in the box. Brown coming at back post. He tried to go himself and score. And you know, from a striker, you need your striker to be selfish. You want him to want to score goals, and he certainly is a player like that.
Indeed, and the way his move to Gold Coast Knights this season, it's weird to say it almost didn't quite work out the way anyone would have hoped, but Walters, he did still wind up with 21 goals from 31 appearances in all comps for Knights, and it did feel like he was trying to add other bows to his game instead of just being the striker that was so effective at Moreton Bay, Moreton City, and in his time in NPL Victoria. He sort of tried to add a bit more of that hold-up man element to his game as well, so that he can be that complete number 9. Oh, Takagishi quick to apologise for that foul on Stajic.
Yeah, it's a little bit late there from Takagishi, but he's not a malice player. I think it was just a little bit late.
I think that was clumsy, not malicious, which was my nickname when I was playing, but that's also why I'm here with you now rather than getting anywhere close to a pitch.
I mean, I certainly could have played for Rangers, but I decided to be here with you instead. It was no other reason.
Well, they could have used you in Europe this year.
They could have used me just the whole time. They haven't won a game yet domestically, so good times ahead.
And still going better than Manchester United. Anyway, back to the action on the pitch. I'm going to hear about that one in the comment section. As it goes to Valkanis. He's got time before Brown closes him down. Turned over. Takagishi storming forward. They've got numbers, Queensland, as Brown will take the strike on, and it's straight at Buzanis. And Takagishi and Walters both to the right, asking what's the pass on, and Brown may be saying, I'm the captain here.
Yeah, I think so. He's taking the authority there. I think the pass probably would have been on, but you know, Queensland have struggled to really get into this position. They did have them numbers forward. I think Brown just took the option to have a shot on target for the Queensland side. It wasn't a bad strike, but Buzanis was well positioned, the new signing.
Valkanis just smartly putting himself between Walters and the ball. There you go, the Raw trying to break through long, watched closely by Martin. The ball commits to foul there on McGarry. Advantage played for the Raw, and it could work out well for Hoare as he drives to the byline. Watched closely by Deus. Back to McGarry. Stadgy. This pitch has seen a lot of traffic lately, but it could be traffic for Lawton, who was offside, and that analogy and attacking move will fade out then and there.
Yeah, it was good movement from Brisbane Roar. Queensland were a little bit static there as Lawton made the run, but yeah, it looked like it may have been onside there, but once again,
We're seeing what you're seeing.
yeah. It's a good run. I mean, he gets in between the defensive line.
And the weight on the pass as well from Stadgic was really good. I mean, it was to an offside player, but using the outside of the boot to feed it through the gap. Sometimes it helps to break out the pitching wedge rather than going for the driver.
Didn't know you knew golf, James.
Played it on the PlayStation.
Another reason why you're in here with me.
Pretty much, yeah. Walters. Way through Valkanis, and the 19-year-old has held up quite well, Dimitri Valkanis, paired with unseen Ability. So it is quite a young central defensive pairing for the Roar. Ability's only 24, but they're doing their job.
I mean, up against Walters, have done excellent. I mean, they haven't.
And Fechner too.
Fechner, oh yeah. Fechner's delivery comes in first.
Towards the back post, and it's all orange there, and it falls for Akbari, and he gets better contact on that one than he had for that chance in the first half, but it still goes wide of the post. Rahman Akbari taking on the club that he made 82 A-League appearances for.
He does well here. He breaks this good touch on his chest. Again, it just doesn't quite hit the target, but it's actually a good strike when it comes in at that much pace. Bouncing on the ground, I think it would trouble the keeper if it was on target.
He was trying to pick out that bottom corner, but McGarry has found that extra gear to beat Deus to the ball. Now plays it in for Hoare. For Varakis off the left, and got the deflection on the way through. Last touch off.
I think it was McGowan that got the block there, James.
I think it might have been. He is a hard man to play around. Henry Hoare. And to liven up this second half, the substitute. Lingering on the ball was McGarry, and now Walters to the afterburners as they couldn't quite beat the third defender in the form of Stadgic.
I mean, that is absolutely superb play there from Walters. He's up on it. Like you said, the lone striker role, he's up on his own, he's driving, he's trying to create something. He wins a throw for his side, and Queensland are now from a real defensive position right at the park, and it really is all thanks to Walters.
Indeed it is, and some discussions taking place on the Queensland bench. Aaron Philp named as head coach. That's a loose pass straight to Varakis. He's got Long in support. Can he time the pass? Through for Long, and well, that will tell you everything you need to know as Long blasts the ball towards the corner flag in frustration as the offside had gone up against the English forward.
I mean, good counter-attack from, disappointing for Queensland to give the ball away there, of course, but good counter-attack from Roy. He did just shift offside. It's actually smart from McGowan and
now going the other end to Fechner, and Ability again, perfectly timed challenge to dispossess the Lions forward.
Ability had to time that perfectly, and he did so. Fechner.
Hoare on the ball, but will come back for the foul on the Raw player. Not quite showing us a clean pair of heels. He's down on the ground.
I think Walters makes a challenge here, but he just put his body in. I don't think it's two committed players going for it.
Stadgic was the player on the ground, but he's continuing. I think I'm going to like watching him in the A-League this year, Stadgic. He's got a bit of that forcefulness to him. Any good defensive midfielder should have. It has been an off-season of change for the Roar, so the departures since their last competitive fixture: Keegan Jelicic, Florin Berenguer, Louis Zabala, Adam Zimmerino, Corey Brown, Rafa Stroik, Suma Abubakar. That one hurt, but on we move. Jack Hingett, Waleed Shur, Matt Acton, Luke and Pearson Casawaya. Lucas Harrington will depart the club in January as he's sealed a very good move to Colorado in the MLS. But, Alan, we'll say 3 of those guys now featuring in NPL Queensland in the close of the season. I saw Corey Brown at grand final day taking it in as Brisbane City's women's side won their grand final in what other way but incredibly dramatic fashion over Gold Coast Knights.
Yeah, I think the Brisbane City women's side, they always seem to leave it late. I mean, the semi-final is just shows that against East, where they were extra time and then scored 2 goals in extra time.
Indeed. Well, you know, what club knows about winning grand finals in the most difficult way possible, but this side in orange. Long, beautiful ball through as Hoare looks like he might have stayed on side, and the shot is blocked away by Martin and McGowan, who I think are asking where was the earlier offside flag.
It certainly looked offside when the pass comes through. But, yeah.
And Matt Acton, he's the reserve keeper for the Queensland side tonight. And Jack Hingett has also featured for Wolves and calls for the handball, and it is given. And it will be another attacking free kick, this time for the Roar in a very threatening position. And we might be seeing Sam Klein coming on. As we see the replay, is McGowan still adamant that was the shoulder, and it is Sam Klein getting some last-minute words of encouragement from Shane Stefanuto.
Oh yeah, Sam Klein. I mean, good season last season for Roar. I think he ended up being the Roar's top goal scorer in the end from a midfield position. So, I mean, he's hoping to probably kick on this season.
Indeed, he is, and he's been given the number 8 shirt, which should be a vote of confidence as well. And a player who was part of the Roar Academy, made his A-League debut up at Redcliffe, left the NPL side, played a year with Gold Coast Knights, lit it up, and he's back in action for the Roar now as their 2024-25 Golden Boot winner. Sam Klein, 28 appearances, 9 goals for Knights last season, but he's going to watch as O'Shea will plan out this free kick. Up the steps, strikes it, and another close free kick from Jay O'Shea.
I mean, he does well. It's a good range to strike from. He gets it over the wall nicely. It dips down and it's hit with a lot of venom. It's not quite on target.
It's the time of year to get your radar finely tuned as Walters hits the accelerator and still can't catch up to Valkanis.
Valkanis came across there like a shot. I mean, Walters, he's quick, he's strong, but Valkanis.
And the stoppage in play is a player who's still down. As Valkanis has stayed down, and hear what the benches think about that.
But it was a strong tackle on Walters.
I don't think he's put in any other kind of challenge tonight, Valkanis.
No. Holding his thigh, his hamstring there, he's holding.
I'm just going to go leg.
Yeah,
He's looking to get play started again quickly. And while he does receive treatment, I just want to go back to Sam Klein as well. So he went to Gold Coast Knights, was coached by Scott McDonald there for a year, had a phenomenal season with them in 2024, and was back for Brisbane Roar after that. And it is a nice sign that the NPL can be a breeding ground for players who come through the Roar's youth system but maybe aren't quite ready to make that leap to the A-League. They can still keep playing football at a high level and try and work their way back in, because look at the names in the Roar preseason squad. I just look at Austin Ludwig as the other prime example of a guy who he's played for Gold Coast United, he's played for college in the US, I think it was Gannon University in Pennsylvania. was the best player in the league for Gold Coast Knights over a multiple year period, Austin Ludwig, and now he's back for the Raw. As we now see the replay of this challenge on Valkanis, and he just might have copped the leg from, or the knee from Walters just in the thigh there as he won the race for the ball, Valkanis.
Yeah, I think so. I think his studs might have gone down back of his leg as well.
That's going to bruise in the morning.
So, yeah. But you're right. I mean, I think it's really important for the professional leagues in Australia that they can look towards the NPL level to send their players to develop and progress. And I think Austin Ludwig is a really good example of a player that's been at that NPL level and has shown that he can play at professional level as well.
Indeed, ideally, that's got to be the long-term goal for the football ecosystem here, where you do have that feeding up system of players. Oh, that turf monster might have caught out Takagishi there, but you get these players getting the opportunities to continue to hone their skills. And, it's a discussion I've had with the other guys in the Brisbane Football Review, Scott and Adam, from time to time. You look at the players that the Raw have, combined with the young talent coming through in the NPL, and there is no reason why not just the Raw, but any future Queensland sides and some of the other non-Queensland teams shouldn't be thinking, we can bring these players into the A-League environment, and with 2 or 3 years of development, maybe a little bit longer in some cases, but they can turn these players into assets that can help with their Akbari and Hoare exchange pleasantries. But you get what I'm trying to say here is they can sort of help themselves and the local clubs make money out of this.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, the local teams want talent. They want to be successful. Obviously, Brisbane Roar and the other A-League sides, they want to be successful. So, I mean, you've got to be able to send your players to this level to develop. And the thing is, players just want to play. Players just want to play football. They want to develop. Sitting on the bench or playing non-competitive games for the youth sides or reserve teams, it's much better playing in a competitive league, playing for the top NPL sides, and competing, playing tough games, playing in front of crowds. I mean, some NPL level sides do get good crowds, and that all adds to the experience for the development of players.
Indeed, and I also think as well, like, you look at some of the environments that these guys walk into. Like, Brisbane City is one of those places that they've done a really good job rebuilding the club culture there over the last few years, and it now looks like a genuinely tough place to go. I mean, you've seen how good it can get in that Hahn Australia Cup clash between City and Olympic, or Olympic Kingsway, but the Queensland Derby in the round of 32 was a phenomenal atmosphere. It's one of the best I've seen at this level, as we have another change for the Raw coming up momentarily. Michael Roos, new signing from Western United, but for the time being, it is O'Shea on the ball. And back for McGarry, finding Hoare. Lawton. And does continue for the Raw. Passing has looked so sharp tonight as they work their way through this Queensland defensive setup that has held on pretty well, all things considered, but just dominated possession. And if they're looking at their bench, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to continue doing just that.
It's a good spell here from the Raw. Oh, what a pass that is.
Beautiful ball through, but the offside flag will catch out long.
There's a lovely little a dink there from Glenn over the top, but it was just gone offside. I think, wonder if Long will be the one maybe to come off here for the change for Roos. Actually kind of looks onside to me again there, but
camera angles can be deceptive.
Yeah, most certainly.
As Lawton is down, and I think he might be getting some pickle juice, or whatever the cramp fix of choice is for the Raw this season. It's a humid night here at Perry Park, but going back to what we're talking about as well in terms of that need for the ecosystem to sort itself out, and as well, I think there have been, dramas between the clubs, the organisations and the Raw over the past few years, and I think there is a lot of trust that does need to be rebuilt over the next little while as well, and it's not something that's going to come immediately, which I think it does show there is a lot of work for the Raw to do at a local level, but I'll give them the credit where it's due. They've done a fantastic job with these local pre-season games over the last little while as well, just taking games out to the local clubs, playing Holland Park, playing Moreton City, playing Caboolture, getting those games out there as well. And I do still think there is a future for the Raw. I'm not going to, go all dramatic here and say that it's, it's been a rough couple of years. They should pack it all in, but there is a lot of work for them to do here.
Oh, for sure. But I think you're 100% right. Coming out and playing the local sides, I think that breeds support. The clubs appreciate it. The local clubs get a bit of money because they're playing the professional side. Brisbane Roar, they get experience, they get match day experience. I think it all comes in together, and then once you start building that trust between each other, you can start working with the players, and it builds from there.
Beautiful ball, almost a beautiful ball over the top from Fechner, just overhit it. When he first struck that pass, Fechner, I thought that was going to just fall right at the feet of Walters for him to hit it first time towards Buzanis' goal.
I mean, we've seen the finish Walters did in the cup final for Knights. I mean, when that ball came to him, Sam managed to score from an awkward angle. He certainly could have done it again there if he gets the chance.
All he does is score, Marquez Walters. And those subs as well, just recapping them as well. So Christopher Long is withdrawn for Michael Roos, and Jordan Lawton, the goal scorer, comes off for another one of those NPL products who is coming through now for the Raw in Noah Maioroni, who is the captain of the Raw's NPL side. He made 24 appearances for 3 goals, formerly of Brisbane City. Coming through that side there, the 20-year-old. As a teenager, making 53 appearances for 11 goals across seasons 2023 and 24. And Maioroni is a player that they've got high hopes for at the Raw, but also clearly at NPL level, because he was actually named on the shortlist for the NPL Queensland side. But naturally, he's donning orange this evening.
I covered a few games of Maioroni this season. I think it was one of the games against Lions, and Raw were struggling in that game, but he was pushing them on. Really good leader in the middle of the park, and I mean, I've certainly got high hopes for him myself as well. I think he can really make it fun in the game.
And now Walters with the touch to pick the pocket of Klein, and he can only play it off. Klein for the goal kick. That was well recovered by Sam Klein.
I mean, this is exactly why they say a 1-goal lead is a slender one. Queensland.
One moment is all it takes to bring it back.
Exactly right.
Can the NPL side find a way to trouble Dean Buzanis, as it's with by the Raw? Hall gets the last touch as Roos challenges for the ball, and Hall trying to the pocket. I'm surprised to see Takakichi out there running around, but it's still going. I do wonder if Cam Miller might be sending a message through to Aaron Philp and his coaching staff saying, guys, still need him.
I don't think he wants to come off the park at all either, though.
Well, let's see what the changes are for Queensland. Nia Joseph is coming on, and he will be likely replacing Walters or Fechner. Looks like Ethan Kovac, the American midfielder for Penn Power, will be coming on as well. Maioroni on the ball. Salas. Pretty solid first hit out for Houston Salas. Gary, tired back heel, I would say, from the New Zealand international.
Well, he actually did a good job to recover there, McGarry. I think McGarry just come across from a spell from Aberdeen in Scotland there, McGarry. I think he
The Scottish Premier League, featuring
Premier.
Australians.
Or New Zealander.
Yes, in this case.
I think he struggled with injuries during his time there at Aberdeen. I don't think he got an awful lot of game time.
So Fechner coming off
Substitutions
for Nia Joseph.
to be replaced by number 9, Nia Joseph.
Number 8 is Jakub Mudnic. He will be replacing Max Brown. And Kovac should be coming on as well, or will it just be those two? It'll be just those two for the time being.
I think for a Queensland point of view, it's a really positive change.
And it's a tired mistake from McGarry as he caught offside.
Yeah, I think obviously Joseph, another Scotsman in the Queensland team, Queensland state team, featuring Scotsman. But yeah, so I think he'll be a big impact in this game if they can get him in the ball around the area, and then obviously Mudnick is just all class from that attacking midfield position. So we'll see what the changes are made with Brown coming off. I can see McGowan, the other Scotsman captain in the Queensland state team.
I know who you'd be giving the armband to as Joseph gets involved. And what a run Nia Joseph has had this season. 31 goals from 34 appearances in all competitions, including 11 in the Capit Queensland Cup run for Penn Power. And it's going to be a yellow card shown to Georgios Vrakis for not coming off in the required manner. And he will take that booking, I'm sure, as he got the news he's being substituted for Jacob Brezet, number 7, who actually trialled for the Raw, or was part of the Raw's trialling squad in this equivalent fixture last year.
It's an interesting yellow card to give. It's obviously a bit frustrating as he's getting subbed off, told to go that side of the park, but
And O'Shea's expression in the background as well. It's like, what are we doing here?
I just want to play the game.
37 and I'm playing 90 minutes in pre-season. Let's just get this going, guys. Of course, O'Shea doesn't really look 37 with the way he moves. Brezet, dynamic attacker. They've been able to recruit from Sydney FC's NPL setup, and it was one of those bright spots last year. He came on in a big way as the season went along. The Raw did finish the NPL season on a bit of a run, recording a few wins over the likes of Wellington, Central Coast, and others. It was too little too late.
So for you, James, being a Brisbane Raw supporter, what's a successful season for you?
Well, we'll answer that in a second as Joseph tries to square it across for Walters, but McGarry still has enough in the tank to get back and cut out that one. It's tough because the preseason results have actually got me feeling rather excited and maybe raising the baseline. I feel like now they need to try and finish as an absolute bare minimum top 8, you know, barring an incredible, unprecedented spate of injuries. But a solid pass for me would be getting back and having that final game of the season meaning something in terms of the finals picture. You know, obviously I'd like them to make the finals, host a home finals game. This goes in and it's over the top of everybody. Klein rising highest and couldn't even reach that. Queensland still on the attack. Mudnic. The ball gets the cross towards the back post, and Bozanis can only palm at it. As the final decision is goal kick.
I think, yeah, Bozanic just mistiming the flight of the ball as it comes in. It's actually a decent little delivery there from Mudnick. A little bit too close to Vazanic, but I think Walters there at the back. I don't think he's expecting it to come to him at all.
I feel like, you know, you always need to be prepared as a striker, but it's also fair to expect someone as experienced as Bazanis to take that one cleanly, as Roos gets it out to Hoare. And Gary. This is out to Deus, who almost gives it straight back to Brissett.
Forgot to run with it there.
And Joseph can't quite bring that one under control. Roos. By Deus on the first attempt, but Deus goes back in for another challenge. 12 minutes remaining here in this almost tighter than expected contest. It feels like the Raw should be up by maybe 3 or 4, but it is a credit to the defensive work of Queensland that they just haven't been able to fashion enough clear-cut chances to make it work, and that is going to be a yellow card shown to O'Shea.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they've done relatively well, Queensland. Like we've said, they've sat in, they've defended, they've tried to break up the pitch and tried to every time they get to go forward, they're misplacing a pass or they get brought down there and a little bit of frustration. But they're holding firm, they're defensively resilient, and Raw have struggled. Second half, I mean, towards the end of that first half, they were creating a right good few chances, but in the second half, you know, there's nothing really that's come that you'd say Raw should be 2-0 up.
Indeed. As O'Shea's free kicks have been probably the most dangerous moments of this second half either way, and it does also, I suppose, to an extent show that there is still that gap between NPL and A-League, especially as the A-League sides get further and further into their pre-season. In the earlier rounds of the FFA/Australia Cup over the last few years, the upsets have come when the A-League sides are still very, very early in their pre-season, and these NPL teams are battling for finals positioning and silverware in their competition. So when the A-League sides are not quite operating at full cylinder and the NPL sides are, they can be on the same level, but I feel like if you just put an NPL side into the A-League, it would go about as well as you would think.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree with that. I mean, we're looking at the best, the best pick of the Queensland sides right now. They are doing really well here. They're competing with Brisbane Roar, but like you said, they're right at the start of their pre-season. Towards the end of the pre-season now, but they're in their pre-season, and the Queensland boys at the end of theirs.
Joseph trying to chase that one down, and we should mention we are less than a month away from the start of the Isuzu Ute A-League season. The Raw's first home game is Friday the 17th of October against MacArthur at Suncorp Stadium. Takagishi as Akbari leaves it into Crociati. It's picked up by Billity, and I suppose also it should be said that is one of the main reasons why I'm not entirely believing, or treating these Raw preseason results as gospel, where we know that Auckland will have given them a good run, but you never know. As Walters tries to cross it, and the only one there to receive it is McGarry. And you know, I really hope that come March, April, we're starting to say, okay, that preseason was a sign that they are building towards a competitive team that can feature in the top 4, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think this is the best I've felt for a Raw side in the last couple of years. So it's Shelford Deus coming off for Luke Beckwith from Gold Coast Knights.
Substitution for
And 15 is Laurie Cart from Easts.
Placed by number 16, Luke Beckwith. Number 6, Kenshin Takagishi.
There you go, Kenshin Takagishi, the other player coming off.
It's interesting that change with Tagishi and Lawrence Cant. Obviously, Tagishi's got to come off the park, but Lawrence Cant is very much a very deep attacking player.
Well, I suppose as well, like Jakub Munic, he can play in that holding midfield role. He has done so in his time with Kapalaba, with the Raw NPL setup, and now we've got more changes coming, so as we just frantically try to keep up with all of this. So it's the end of the run for Houston Salas, as he will be replaced by Anthony Burke-Gilroy.
Substitution for Brisbane Roar.
Well, it's been really good debut for Salas, or pre-season debut for Salas. But Buck Gilroy, I mean, he was a standout last season, getting up and down that pitch. So it'll be a good change for Brisbane Roar.
And Matthew Dench will also come on for the Roar, replacing McGarry.
I think McGarry's done okay. I think he was a little bit tired towards the end there, but like you said, it's very humid out there.
Not a whole lot you can really fault any of the Raw players as individuals with. I mean, I'm trying to rack my brain for moments where you could say, well, that's maybe something that Valkanis is going to really highlight, but not a whole lot really springs to mind.
Yeah, I think they might be maybe frustrated at the creativity in the final third, but I don't think that's down to one individual, like you say. It's a mix of the forward area, really.
Positives all around, but back to that Queensland midfield as well. So Laurie Carney, I think he might be operating on that right side of the midfield. It's a goal kick, and that's still being celebrated by Tyson Martin. But Jakob Bunic, he's a player who's been all around NPL Queensland. So Capalaba, Brisbane Roar, back to Capalaba. Also featured for Gold Coast Knights, Wynnum Wolves, and most recently for Brisbane City. 33 games this season, 12 goals. And if you are playing at home, 8 appearances for the Raw NPL side in 22, sorry. I'm also just realising that if we are doing Tuesday's game, I may have emptied my book of facts for some of these players, so that could be fun.
I'm sure there'll be a change for Tuesday night. New players on the park. Is it Lawrence Cant, James, is he the only representative of Eastern Suburbs?
Active tonight, yeah. Matt Rydenton was a player who was named in the All-Stars training squad, but I'm told wasn't available tonight. So the players who weren't available, so Josh Langdon, Oscar Dillon, Josh Phelps, Corey Brown, Matt Rydenton, Phil Larsam, Andy Pengelly, and the aforementioned Noah Maioroni. Well, we know why Maioroni was unavailable. But, yeah, I was told the players that featured for Queensland tonight were all the ones who were available for this game. And there's only 3 players who haven't been called on by Aaron Philp, who has been a bit of a feature in these Queensland All-Star coaching squads as well. So going back to 2020, he was the assistant for Ben Kahn as Burke Gilroy steps forward, finds Roos. And back by Akbari, and he is clattered into by Maioroni.
I think Maioroni actually has to make that challenge. Queensland were away there on the counter. Buck Gilroy burst into the box, and Akbari's one that takes it.
Yeah, and some might say that's a smart foul.
I mean, certainly is. You see, he's definitely bursting away.
And as we back to live pictures, Beckwith is dragged down by Dench, and that is going to be another yellow card for a Raw player. And Dench, talk about a necessary challenge. If he didn't pull down Beckwith, the Gold Coast fullback had a step on him.
I think Beckwith, there's not many better players in the league in the NPL level than Beckwith when he gets going on that right side. Certainly a free kick off Dench. And I tell you, James, for a game that you did mention at the start might not be as competitive. It's been a fair amount of yellow cards and strong challenges.
And to be fair, the Queensland side will probably be thinking, with 3.5 minutes of normal time remaining, they can pinch this.
Definitely.
It would be a smash and grab, but delivery from Woodnich. It's headed straight in the air by Klein, nodded down by McGowan, who has taken the armband as well. Shock horror.
Well, I mean, I certainly mentioned it before, you know, the Scots out there are leading this Queensland side.
You can see Kevin Ahern-Evans from the Brisbane Strikers FQPL head coach watching on. And last touch by Burke Gilroy, and I don't think anyone's trying to claim that one as a back pass. It was Michael McGowan leading the way, as he is wont to do.
Yep.
That's want with an O if you're closed captioning that at home.
Well, he's captain of the Peninsula Power side, so he's certainly got a lot of leadership experience, and he's just a young 35.
Indeed, as Henry Hoare, 7 days ago, he would have been watching his brother win the NPL Queensland title. Hoare with 36 NPL appearances for Lions back in 2019-2020, before getting the call up from Warren Moon. His first A-League goal came against Perth Glory up at Redcliffe. Henry Hoare, and part of last season on loan in South Korea. But it is all hands on deck defensively for the Roar as Walters to Akbari. Wide for Beckwith. Martin's made the run. Instead, it's therefore Joseph with the acrobatic finish, but can't quite direct it on goal.
He's so instinctive. The ball comes in, it just bounces up. A lot of players have to think and look for options around him. He had nothing else on his mind. He's going to have a go at that. I tell you, if that goes in, that is some way to equalise, I tell you, James.
Indeed. So back to the coaching staff. So Aaron Phillip, he was the assistant for Ben Kahn in 2020, head coach in 2021 with Chris Grossman as his assistant. There's no All-Star game in 2022. Gray Piddock was in charge for 23, and Phillip was in charge again last year, which is a marker of the consistency that Penn Power have had this year, finishing the NPL campaign in third place before losing the semi-final, and another national stage appearance in the Hahn Australia Cup as advantage played for Queensland. Out it goes for Beckwith, and the heavy touch as he recovers well, Luke Beckwith. Martin slipped as he tried to play that pass, but he couldn't bring it under control. And Klein just is into Walters, who has stayed down in back play. As Phillip's assistant raider Al Rakabi is shouting out instructions from the front of the technical area, the East's head coach. His first full year in charge the men's side at Heath Park. 5 minutes of time added on to be played here as we tick over 90 minutes, and Joseph was so close to picking off that pass before it reached Bazanis.
It might be a bit of a nervy 5 minutes here for Brisbane Roar. Probably more nervy than they had anticipated.
Well, I suppose if we're going into the coaching cliches for Michael Valkanis, he's got to be happy that his side have been able to hold out for a win, and all things considered it would be pretty comfortable, but maybe he's thinking his coaching point out of this one in terms of corrections will be the need to be a lot more ruthless, this time in 3 weeks and 6 days when they take on MacArthur, and making his chances count as Joseph is going to pick up a yellow card for that really cynical challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to start the first 45 and just try and put pressure on Queensland and try and blow them away. But they were a little bit standoffish in the first half, and they sort of put the pressure on towards the end of the game. But Queensland were set; they were in their positions. Queensland looked a little bit nervy at the start of the game, and Brisbane Roar could have used that, but they weren't able to. They got their goal, obviously, but outside of that, I think Queensland have been quite comfortable. Brisbane Roar have been in attacking areas, haven't really been able to create chances in the second 45 minutes, and that's where the game's led now. So Queensland, they've held in, they've played the five at the back, they've sat deep at times, they've looked to counter, and they only need one chance here if they can get it. See back there now, Joseph's. There's a cynical foul there from the striker, definitely warranting his yellow card, that's for sure.
And that change that just took place as well. Jason McQuarrie, the ever-present in NPL Queensland, currently with Penn Power, has just come on. It's the 90th minute substitution, replacing Ramad Akbari. So it's, why not go for the equaliser here for the NPL All-Stars side, who have been on the back foot for a lot of this game. As Klein goes to the edge of the 18-yard box, and Martin pulls out of the challenge, and on the follow-up, it's Hoare. And there's the insurance, 2-0 to the Roar. Henry Hoare scores at Perry Park.
Nice good play for Brisbane Roar. Again, it's persistent play. Just as we're sort of looking towards Queensland possibly getting an equaliser, Brisbane Roar just show them why they are the A-League side here. Hey, Martin, he dives in, probably look to maybe take out Klein. He doesn't do it here, just pulls out in time. It's a good save from Thurtell. There's not really much else he can do, but he puts it back into a really dangerous area, and Hoare's there just to follow up. No chance from him. 2-0 Brisbane Roar.
Indeed, and it is Henry Hoare scoring for the Roar as he's put in a solid 45 plus minutes as he's back in action in orange.
Goal scorer number 13, Henry Hoare. Queensland 18-0, Brisbane Roar 2.
And one of those players who, if all goes well for the likes of Henry Hoare, he could go to a whole other level if this Raw side does, I suppose, attack a bit more. And well, there's some idiots in the car park down there, but shock horror.
Pyrotechnics.
And Walters, that was a handball that was missed. Who let the kids out? Anyway. Man, Kurt with the missed catch. I'm sure he won't want to be reminded about that. Crocciati.
Yeah, I think Roar's going to be really happy with how well they've defended and limited the chances of this of the state team, and you know, comfortable 2-0 win in the first game.
With the ball in, looking for Walters, didn't quite have the carry on it, but a driven follow-up from Reece Gray, who's hit that one with some venom.
He struck that so sweetly there from Gray. That is the best chance of the match for Queensland, I think, James.
It certainly was, and it produced an excellent save to deny them, as now it goes to Beckwith. He can hit them from range, but that wasn't one of them, and that will be how this game comes to an end, as the Brisbane Roar continue their strong pre-season with a comfortable 2-0 win over the NPL Queensland All-Stars in the first of two head-to-head matches. And Alan, well, it was good work from the Roar. Jordan Lawton, Henry Hoare with the goals, and another step closer to the start of the Isuzu Ute A-League season.
Absolutely, James. I think, like you said, Brisbane Roar, I think they'll be happy. They've come here, they've won 2-0. You can never be unhappy for a 2-0 win for Queensland. I think the boys have done really well to compete, and I think they'll actually fancy their chances going into game two.
They certainly will. That is on Tuesday night, but before we move on, let's see how the first goal occurred here tonight. And it was Lawton starting that move with the pass out to the left and continuing his run there, receiving it back. And we said it once, we said it twice, we'll say it again. Lawton hit that one with so much power, there was absolutely nothing that could be done from Jordan Thurtell, and the second goal was so recent. We'll need to check that one out as we go through some of the highlights from the second half, and from Stajic to find the offside. Lawton was so close to being awesome.
Very close.
Chance for Queensland as Hector played it through for Joseph and pulls out the acrobatics, but to no avail.
Well, I think we said if he puts that away, that is some way of equalising.
It would have been a special finish. There's Walters, centre of the picture, going through the congratulatory process as all handshakes and high fives at the end. A clean sheet for Dean Brazanis as he comes in, and these sides will do it all again not that long from now, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. at AJ Kelly Park. And the following Tuesday, the 30th of September, the NPL Women will take on the Raw's Ninja A-League side at Imperial Corp Stadium. Therefore, the football and the pizza. And then Friday, the 3rd of October at Walter Park, the NPL Queensland All-Stars taking on Moreton City. Alan, final thoughts?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to game 2. I think it's the final thoughts. I think it'll be interesting to see how both teams line up. I think Aaron Phillip will probably make a few changes going into that game, and I think they'll certainly fancy it there. But for Brisbane Roar, it was a professional performance. They didn't concede many chances, and they come away a 2-0 win, so they'll be absolutely delighted.
That they will. Final score for the final time here from Perry Park: NPL Queensland 0, Brisbane Roar 2. And that is where we are going to leave you on this Saturday evening. We'll be back on Tuesday with more football. I'm James Coughlin for Alan Kroll. This has been a production of Double Take for FQ TV. Thank you very much for your company. Good night.